it's that time of the year. It's the end of 2023, so I might as well say what my 2023 flashlight of the year is, and is this flashlight right here. I didn't buy many flashlights, a couple of MSRs. They look kind of the same, but yeah, I bought different flashlights, but this one was an impulse buy and ended up being my most favorite purchase of the year. And maybe you'll think it's interesting too. So let me first address the elephant in the room, and that is, this looks like a Brian Fellhoelter flashlight, and I think he doesn't make any flashlights anymore. Maybe in a very long past he has made it, but yeah, he hasn't made it in a long time. But this doesn't say Brian Fellhoelter anywhere on it, so it's not a counterfeit. And I believe this is, compare this to the 4.7s, which is a collab he did, 4.7 flashlight. This is not the same dimension, so it's not exactly a clone. So I would say this is inspired by Brian Fellhoelter. You can see it. Here's a Brian Fellhoelter pen. Psych, this is a pen knife. You got fooled. Where it says Brian Fellhoelter here. Very cool. You can see his traditional bolt action to activate it. All his pens, everything like that. So here you have something very, very similar. So it's kind of a gray area. If you think it's like a ripoff of his stuff, then maybe you're not even going to consider this video, this review. But I just had to adjust that at the beginning. So let me just start out with, I found this on AliExpress. Actually, my friend recommended it to me, but it was already on my radar. So there. Let's just go straight into the pros and cons. Pros. Price. The reason this is an impulse buy is that if this costs between 30 to 40 US dollars, which is nuts because this thing is titanium, which is crazy. A titanium flashlight for like, let me just say like $40. Let's say $40, but I seen it on sale. You can get it as cheap as $30. They even have an aluminum version, but it's only like a few bucks, $5 cheaper. So you might as well go for the titanium, match all of your other titanium EDC products. Right, so price is crazy cheap. Not sure how they make profit. Pros, bling. Titanium is that rare material that you'll pay extra money for. Titanium usually costs like $100, I think. I think I paid $90 for this. I think I paid $100 for this one, which is just the housing for $100. So you get an idea, titanium's not cheap, right? So this is very affordable price. Con, we can go on a con of titanium. Titanium, it's not the best conductivity. Aluminum is better conductivity. Aluminum is also better and probably in the action of this motion, because titanium tends to be gritty. Unless it's perfectly polished, it tends to have grittiness. So if you want the best action, you probably want to get the aluminum version of this, not the titanium version of this. That was a pro. That was a con, which was the titanium. One of the pros, I would say, is the bolt. I miss losing my 4.7 bolt flashlight. It's so much fun and so useful. This is basically a forward clicky, so you can just activate it, run it like this. It's so easy to use, so easy to hold. It's natural. You're in that tactical position. And then you can lock it into your favorite mode and disengage it. It has that fidget factor as well, so if you just want to play around with it, it has that as well. No lockout needed. Just really, I mean, in order to push this and accidentally turn it this way, it would be an amazing feat. You might as well play the lottery. So what's a con of the bolt? Well, it's basically just like every bolt pen out there. Any one of these bolt action are not waterproof. Water can seep in through here, just like that. Water can seep into here. That means it goes into whatever, the battery compartment, all the contact points in here, and then maybe up to the circuit. So yeah, that's a con, a big con. It is not waterproof. It's would you use it in the rain? I think it could survive light rain, but yeah, it's definitely not. It's not something that I would use on the field or in some kind of sketchy situation. Okay, moving forward, the format. I love this kind of longer format with the clip. When you have this and you put this in your pocket, it's actually quite deep inside your pocket, and then it's narrow enough. Yeah, this is never gonna fall out. I've put this in my pocket while I'm cycling, and it would never fall off. It felt very sturdy, so that I like. But then this format as well, con. So this is the pros and cons of every little feature. The cons would be it's a complete waste of space, because all it takes is a 14500 battery, and also it does take other batteries, primaries, NIMS, everything like that. It takes the full range, which is fantastic. But look at this, look how much of waste that is. So the rest of this and this is nothing. It's for that extra mechanism of the bolt action. So for you to enjoy that bolt action, how is it threading? Ew. So in order to enjoy this bolt action, you actually need all this part in here, because basically you're pushing a connection point here, and there's a spring here that taps into the battery. So there's like a kind of retaining ring that holds the battery in place. There's a spring here, and then you're pushing that ring, the spring in the back, make a contact point for it to go. So wasting space, 4-man waste space, but definitely doesn't fall out of your pocket. So let's go on. Another pro would be the volt range. So the volt range is quite useful. You have a wide range because it takes both primaries, with primary nickel metal hydrides are pretty much the same thing, and then lithium as well. So you get that full range, but the lumens will be different. Lithium ion, you're going to get about, I'm guessing around, I'm estimating by checking using a lux meter and comparing with other lights, that it's getting about 800. It's quite a lot. 800 lumens on high, and this is the UI basically. High, low, and then strobe. That's it. 3 modes for this forward style UI. So lithium ion, 800 lumens, about 130 lumens on that, and then you get a strobe on nickel metal hydride and primary, and I tested both of those, and they are much lower in lumens, obviously, right? So that gets about 130 lumens. So it's about the low of the lithium ion, and then the low would be 90 lumens. So between the 130 and 90, they're actually quite similar to the eye. So I think it's more designed for lithium ion, but in a pinch you could use primary cells. And I had that one situation where I had a OLED charger break on me on the traveling, and I can just buy primary cells in a convenience store and just have less lumens out there. Okay, so that's full voltage range, obviously designed for lithium ion, but in a pinch you still have that backup. So I already talked about the UI, high, low, strobe. That's it, and you just lock it in. Doesn't memorize everything. About 3 seconds it'll restart. So if you like 1, 2, 3, then it'll go back to high. Always start high, low, strobe. And it's quite simple, but it makes sense, the UI, which is very limited, which you can call it a con, but it makes sense because this is a defensive tool. And that you can call that pro or not, and I would never say that to an authority that says this is a defensive tool. Just tell them it's a flashlight. I've been on a couple of trips with this and in flights, and this never was stopped in any kind of security, but in my mind that this is a defensive tool, which is why I actually love to travel with this flashlight, because you're able to have a striking tool like this, and they call that usually like an attitude adjuster, which I think is a kind of funny name, or they call it a force multiplier, because you're able to multiply your force into a smaller compact point. So when you hit, and then this is also much harder, so you can just go full out, because when you punch with your fists, I mean, our hands are so delicate, made out of soft tissues. This stuff is easy, very, very easy to break. So having a tool is much better. Don't tell authorities this is a defensive tool, but it is a defensive tool. Okay, that was a pro. So, and I think when you think about the UI makes sense for, as a defensive flashlight, in the sense that you want to have just a high burst. And then I didn't even tell you what the runtime is, because that's kind of a con or embarrassing, because of with the 14500 lithium, it's only like 1,000 at best, 1,000 milliamp capacity. So you're just gonna get about 20 minutes with that 800 lumens, and I'm not even sure if it can sustain 800 at the full time. It's very bright 800 for this size, and it gets quite hot. You know, I'll show a graph. I did a thermal thing, and it gets I ran it for 5 minutes, and it can run for 20, approximately 20. I estimated based on the current pull, 20 minutes on the high, which is not a lot, but you're just looking to blind a person. You have quick access, no unlocking to do, nothing to fidget, no hidden modes. It's just 3 modes: high, gotcha, disorient you, or high, and let's see, high, low, and then low more. You want more runtime, and low is that 130 lumens. It's about 2.5 hours, I guess, based on the consumption it's taking. So also not that long, but 2.5 hours can probably get you out of a pinch if you're like lost somewhere. I think that's quite enough time. But then just like not even a low, it's just, or not even a third low, it's just high low strobe, so you can just get into that strobe to disorient to someone. So very specific flashlight. I think the theme of the flashlight, the UI makes sense, the runtime makes sense on it, and you can't go bigger than 4500, otherwise it loses that pocket ability of it. I don't think this is meant to be a runtime killer or anything like that. It's just meant to be, you know, like the short use flashlight or purpose flashlight. I think that's it. I think I talked about the function of this flashlight, and so why I like it. So why is it 2023 my favorite? Obviously it's the price. I think the price is pretty much disposable, so you can just buy this on a whim just for the novelty of the bolt, the action. I think it's great. If you're not picky about the little grittiness of the titanium, you can go for the aluminum version, but I like having the titanium. It's just not expensive, so it's like, it's really a fun light. So that's the number one. I think it's a fun light, and I found it to be very useful in that how easy it is to just put in your pocket and then pull it out and just use it really quick. Like for example, I went cycling and this didn't fall out of my pocket, had to flash my wife, got ahead of her, and then lost her, and then I could just flash her. I found her. I don't have to like, you know, go through UIs and other settings from different other flashlights. So it's quite useful when I just needed like something to work. And when you go to other countries, I can carry knives, and I just feel safer to have an impact tool, defense tool, to defend myself and people in your family, and that's what this can do. And but I don't tell authorities, I just say it's a flashlight. But anyway, that's it. Awesome flashlight. I mean, the quality of it is really, really good. You can look at the machining, stone washed. They did the kind of like milling here to make it different colors. It's titanium in the back. That is plastic, so they didn't bother putting a lens. Maybe that's cost cutting, but it didn't matter because if it rains or you dunk it, water's going to get in through here, so it probably doesn't even matter. So I mean, that's a limitation. Obviously, this is not meant to be the tactical light, or it's definitely not a officer's light or a soldier's light in that kind of sense, because this is like a novelty EDC person's light / defensive tool, and it's just so cheap for so much fun. So that's why I love it. It's not that I like it, I love this light. So that's it. What do you think? You can comment below. What's your favorite purchase? What's your favorite flashlight purchase of this year? You can also comment below. Thanks for watching, all the subscribers. Thanks for subscribing. Like, share, it's all free and stuff like that. And see you next time. Titanium bolt light. Ooh la la. Let's get some beam shots. High, low, strobe. Oh, too much. Simple UI. high, which should be about 20 minutes. Low, 2.5 hours, roughly. Strobe for days. I think low's good enough for most use. Couple of hours, more than enough to get you out of trouble. But the first mode is high. This is just to blind the person. There we go, high. Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah.